hadith of today is of a serious case, and it's narrated by Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أعذر الله إلى امرئ أخر أجله حتى بلغ 60 سنة. Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he reports that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah excuses and grants forgiveness to a person until he attains the age of 60 years of his life. Now there are a number of things in this hadith. First of all thing is that Allah Azza wa Jal has opened up the doors of forgiveness, and He excuses His ibad for until he is at the age of 60, and then after it's nothing. That's a question. It's not the case. The case is the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal is willing to excuse His ibad, His servants, and forgive His people for as long as they live in this world. But the condition is the fact that they turn to Allah Azza wa Jal in remembrance and forgiveness. Our previous chapter was of struggle, and this is of good actions, that which will help us in our later life. And in regards to this hadith, we should not neglect our obligations, that which are placed by Allah Azza wa Jal. We should not neglect the injunctions that have been placed upon us by Allah Azza wa Jal. We should increase in trying to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal and seeking His forgiveness in the age limit that He has given us. The sad issue is, or shall I say that surprise is, that you don't know when death is to come to you. Whether or not you shall live 60 or 40. I've come across people close to myself that died at the age of 16, died at the age of 20, and people who are in full sense. They understand what's going on. They go out, he walked on the street, car hit him, he died. So knowing the fact that life is not in your hands, you cannot extend your life the way you want. You cannot exceed the amount of breaths that you could take to live on. Everything is limited, and that limitation is unknown. So the limitation is unknown. For you, that is enough, that you carry on doing whatever you can from good actions, a'mal al-salihah, seeking forgiveness, increasing in your faith, getting closer to Allah, attaining His Jannah, seeking His forgiveness in regards to the punishment of the grave, and you get closer to Allah in this life that you have. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, أَوَلَمْ نُعَمِّرْكُمْ مَا يَتَذَكَّرُ فِيهِ مَنْ تَذَكَّرَ وَجَاءَكُمُ النَّذِيرُ. Allah Azza wa Jal says, did we not give you lives long enough? That the life that Allah Azza wa Jal has given to you, is it not long enough so that whoever would receive a reminder from Allah Azza wa Jal, or they receive the warning of Allah Azza wa Jal, and that they receive it and they become warned by it. So knowing the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal, whilst you're living this life, Allah Azza wa Jal descends upon you these warnings that you need to be careful. You need to return to me. So this hadith is important in regards to our life and how we spend it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, and that we seek Allah Azza wa Jal's forgiveness. And I would request the brothers really that every night before you sleep, don't pray your Salatul Witr here. Go home. Before you go to bed, make your wudu. You fulfill the sunnah. What you do is you pray 2 rak'ahs, and then pray another 2, and then do istighfar. Raise your hands and ask Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive you. You need to make your day accountable. You need to study your day. Spend 2 minutes with Allah Azza wa Jal. Think of everything you've done. I went there, I did this, I said this, I did that, I did this. And then do tawbah. Oh Allah, there are sins I've done, you know them and I know them, and there are sins I might not even know I've done them. Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive me. That will soften your heart. Allah Azza wa Jal will decrease the level of afflictions that are upon you in your everyday life. And then pray your Salatul Witr and be content. This is also very good for your physical state and your mental state. That when you go to sleep, knowing the fact that everything you've done from wrong, that you've requested the Al-Malik, Al-Ghaffar, you've requested Him to forgive you. And knowing the fact that also deep down in your heart, for all the rough statements and everything that you might have had between people, you forgive them for Allah Azza wa Jal, with the intention that Allah Azza wa Jal tomorrow puts in their heart that they forgive you also. So I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us amongst those who consider and ponder over these small things. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.